scum! Fascist scum! Fascist scum! Fascist scum! Fascist scum!
Oh my God, honestly, trying to get this to work.
Let's make a lot of noise, Glasgow! Right native speakers!
So, we've got a lot of Palestinian flags here. I'm not quite sure if they understand about Islam,
Free!
but there's only 3 democratically elected, predominantly Muslim states in the world. So I'm not quite sure if they understand it, but let's go and see what the other speeches are. Let's go look at it.
Free! Say it loud! Say it clear! Say it loud! Say it clear! Say it loud! Say it clear!
Sorry, pal.
Free! 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 Free!
Working hard and obeying the law. Never once have they tried to force their ideology onto us. But now we face a different kind of evil. An evil in which we have arriving daily on our shores. Mass amounts of all military-aged men, sometimes 50 to 100 per boat, 4 or 5 boats per day, every day. No women, no children. It really does start to make you think of the old quote. A man leaving his family behind. People, the message here today is very, very clear. We must put a stop to all illegal immigration into this country. We must deport all undocumented foreigners from British soil. Our government has let us down time and time again for years. We've been lied to regarding the amount of illegal aliens entering this country and how much we actually know about any of them. We pay to house them, we feed them, we clothe them, many thousands in Glasgow alone, and yet here we are set to spend even more of our taxpayers' money on protecting their way of life, when these people have zero respect or tolerance for our British values. And all this is happening while our veterans are lying on the streets, our pensioners' winter money has been cut back and left to freeze after contributing their whole lives to this country. And now we face our children, another children's meals have been removed. That, people, is exactly what betrayal looks like in this country. We, the people standing here today, are the ones who are going to start to make the difference, people. We must come together and stand up for our children's futures. Something amazing that I have seen come out of all this sort of chaos is how it has started to unite this long divided city and country of ours. This is evident of the turmoil here today. And even more so when you think further afield, we're facing a bigger problem when you see the likes of Belfast, people uniting on the streets to come together as one, united as one, and to stand against this force of evil and his idiotic band over there. From day one, when these people descended into Ireland, the Irish people took to the streets. They took to protests against illegal migrants who were destroying their towns and cities up and down the country. Guys, this is our time to stand up for our country. Make people in our wonderful British history, who they still speak of regular today and proudly today, proud patriotic people who without whom we wouldn't be here today celebrating our heritage of freedom and our British way of life. These people have made the stand when duty called. Are we seriously going to be the generation that feels brown? For me, that's not the values I was brought up on, and it's certainly not the values that this great country was built on. United we will stand here, people. Divided we will fall. The message is clear. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll not take up too much more of your time. Again, a very big thank you from me personally, and a very personal thank you to the ones that contacted me from day one with all your support and offering help along the way. That atmosphere today has been electric, and I really appreciate it. Hopefully this can be the first of many. Today, as I've said, guys, the message is clear. Peaceful rally, enough is enough. We're not going to take much more of this. And just on that note, ladies and gentlemen, please make sure every single person here gets home safe tonight. Keep up the good fight. Our courage is the test. God bless, guys.
Give it up for Johnny! And it's so true what he's saying. We are fighting for a better future for our kids. How many Labour parents? How many Labour childless? We are fighting for a better future for our kids, and that's simple as that. Mass immigration is bad for us, it's bad for Scotland, it's bad for the UK. Right, next we've got Alistair coming up. Give it up for Alistair McConaughey, Forster Good, he provided all these flags. Thank you very much, Niall. And I want to say thank you to everybody who has turned out today. This is the very first rally that we have ever had. This is the first immigration restrictionist rally that has ever been held in the heart of this great British city of Glasgow. And you know, it's about time. And I've got a message for the Scottish middle class as I look out here today. I want to say, where is the Scottish middle class that should be coming out and standing up for his country? God bless the working men and women of Glasgow and of Scotland who have turned out today. But we need to see the middle class is coming out. We need to see them standing up for their country. We need to see them giving support to groups like ourselves. We need to stand up and support our fantastic United Kingdom, and our job today is to stop mass immigration. In 2023, 1.2 million legal immigrants came into the country. That is beyond ridiculous. In 2022, another 1.2 million came in. Mass immigration has to end, and for starters, it needs to go, which is very high, back in between the 60s and 97 when Blair took over. We need to get back to that. We're not saying end all immigration, but end mass immigration. But it's an utter disgrace that our country, as we stand here today in the Cenotaph, remembering the men and women who fought and died for us. An utter disgrace that our country is being invaded daily across the English Channel by hundreds of young fighting age men. Our ancestors are turning in their graves looking at what has become of our political class. And we don't need just to stop them, we need to send them back. And what we also need to do is to ensure that there is no resettlement of such boat people in our country. No resettlement in Scotland of fraudulent asylum seekers. They need to go home. And here's another thing. This is about the future of Scotland as a recognisably Scottish nation. And if you're a Scottish nationalist, or if you're a Scottish unionist, we may differ on the merits of the UK Union, but surely we agree that Scotland's borders must be protected.
And so I am calling for the Scottish Nationalists and Scottish Unionists to come together to say that we have a shared interest in getting rid of all the political class that want to flood Scotland with legal and illegal immigration. We need to get rid of the Swinnies of this world. And we need to say to Anas Sarwar, the Labour leader, Mr. Sarwar, you want to be First Minister in 2026. Well, if you've got designs on that station, then you better start listening to us. We want to hear serious talk from you about stopping the levels of immigration. We want you to be speaking to Mr. Keir Starmer in Westminster and saying, unless you stop the booze, unless you send them back, unless you lower mass immigration, then we might not win in 2026. And Mr. Starmer has to think, oh crikey, I better start getting my arse in gear then. I better start stopping the boats, seriously stopping them, using the Royal Navy and the Royal Marines to intercept the boats peacefully and to peacefully drag them back to the shores of Calais where they belong. You know, a lot of the Labour MSPs that are hoping to win in 2026 will be elected on the regional list. And on the regional list, many of them are elected only by a few hundred votes. It's only a few hundred votes which differs the final regional MP from the other one, Dick Jones's. And Starmer and Sarwar are going to realise that unless they stop the boats, they're not going to win in 2026. That's what we can do politically, because, you know, they might have taken everything from us, but we've still got our vote. And we're in the Scottish election 20 months from this very day, on the 7th of May 2026. It's going to be a Holyrood election, exactly 20 months out. And we are going to make this an issue at the 2026 Scottish election. And each of us have 2 votes, and we're going to make it clear to Sarwar that we're not going to vote for you. Do not take our vote for granted. And we're not going to vote for the SNPs and the Tories unless you do something to talk against mass immigration. Unless you do something to stop the booze, we're not going to vote for you either. We will vote for people who want, like that flag said, to stop immigration, to stop mass immigration, to stop the boats, to send them back, and to ensure there's no resettlement in Scotland. And somebody with that platform, they will get the vote of the good people of Scotland. And Johnny McGinty just stopped there and said, you know, this is a battle, it's a democratic battle. Our forefathers, our foremothers, they're looking down on us right now and they're wishing us the very best. And they're saying we have to fight for Scotland. Kingdom. They don't even care about distinct nation states. Let's get this fantastic flag back up again. They don't care about nation states. They want to destroy nation states. They want open borders. Well, we want secure borders. We want borders where our children and families can grow up in a recognisably Scottish nation, can grow up safely and peacefully. And all of this can be done perfectly democratically and perfectly humanely. You know, we are paying £8 million a day to keep the fake asylum seekers in hotels throughout the United Kingdom. Well, maybe £8 million could go toward, and there'll even be enough left over to pay a one-way return ticket to those people to go back to wherever it was that they came from. And there might even be more money, and we could give them a resettlement grant, and I'm being serious here. We can do this perfectly humanely. We can do this perfectly within the financial system as it exists. It's not impossible. The only thing lacking is the political will. And the political will is lacking because the politicians don't listen to us. They listen to the people at the other side of the square. In fact, the people at the other side of the square are being paid by us. These NGOs are getting hundreds of thousands of pounds of our money to campaign to break down our borders. The politicians in the Scottish Parliament, one of them is speaking, is getting paid hundreds of thousands of pounds a year. Our money to fight against us. The trade unions, and most of these are just salaried people. So next, we've got a man who needs no introduction really. His name is Craig Houston. Come to the stage, Craig. Give him a big round of applause, guys. Let's make some noise. Hi, people in the back. I will tell you how we fix them. No them at the back. Not got a clue how to fix anything. They've had to go for 17 years and look at the shite hole we're in. Okay? I have 4 more concerns. My first concern is not the immigrant. I know plenty. Good people, honest people, people with standards. However, I have a problem with the levels of immigration. Now I get told I'm far right, I'm racist, I'm a fascist, I'm a Nazi, but there's people over here for having that concern. Well, let me share a secret. For 20 years, every government that's came into the United Kingdom has shared my same fear. Because every one of them has put in their manifesto that we have too much immigrants. Yet none of them have sorted it. So if I'm a fascist, I'm a Nazi, and I'm right wing, then so is every Tory and Labour government of the last 20 years. We've had immigration levels 30 to 50,000 since the war, all the way through the 90s. Most of us lived through the 90s. Some of us can even remember the 90s. However, there wasn't a problem. Now we have 1.2 million coming in. That's out of control. That's my first concern that needs sorted. They're trying to outshout me because they know I'm telling the truth. My second concern is not the asylum seeker. I have a lovely family that I deal with as a volunteer. Good Afghani people. The dad, helped our forces in Afghanistan as an interpreter against the Taliban. When our forces came out, he came with us. And he's a good man. He's a man with standards. He wouldn't stand over there shouting at me. And he is an asylum seeker. And people like him deserve asylum in our country. But I have a problem with asylum. Because we have fake asylum. Let me tell you how easy it is to come here as an asylum seeker. You pay 50 quid to EasyJet from any country in Europe, you get to passport control and you say I seek asylum and you get put in a process. So why are thousands every month coming and paying £5,000 pounds and coming in dinghies and putting herself in the back of trucks? That makes no sense. We don't have a problem with asylum seekers. We have a problem with fake asylum seekers. Now my third problem is housing. And I can see amongst these people I know, people that serve this country and they get treated like shite when they want a house. is putting them. So they... But Kisty's here with the people. The gun button, they're over there. They hate it, don't they? They absolutely hate it. Right, my fourth problem is knife crime. We saw 3 young beautiful girls murdered in the streets of Southport. And what did our Prime Minister do? He spoke for 3 minutes. He then spoke for another 17 minutes about far-right fascist protests. Never once handling what to do with a knife crime. And I found something out by default. In this country right now, there was a bill passed in February by the Tory party, and I ain't telling you they're any better, by the way, and that came into force a week ago. And we're currently in an amnesty programme for handing back machetes, zombie knives and big knives over 8 inches. And if you take them back to the police, they give you some money. Because after that 29-day window, it will be against the law to make, sell or own any of these knives. And nobody knows. Because our Prime Minister, that communist guy that took the job a couple of weeks ago, the one that they all love, by the way, he forgot to tell us. How crazy is that? We've got one of the biggest new knife laws coming into our country when the 29-day window is done, and he didn't tell anybody. So, that's my problems, and I believe somebody stole my passport. If you hold one of these, I'm bet good money that your concerns are the same, or you wouldn't be here today. So how do we sort them? Well, I'll tell you my view on it, and it may be right, it may be wrong, but I'll tell you my opinion. There's elections in 2026, and for those who watch my programs on YouTube, you'll know I'm standing. And I hope loads of people let me stand. And I don't care the colour of the rosette. I don't care if they're SDP or blue or red rosette or even independent. And what we'll do is we'll build houses for the ex-service people on the streets, and we'll sort out this economy. Because we will spend 5 years in that horrible place called Holyrood talking about serious stuff, not about independence. We will bury the talk of independence for 5 years and sort the shite out that they've caused in 17. Who's with me? Come on. Alright, Peter. Where's my security? Right. So, I think that was a 10-minute moan. I hope you all enjoyed that. And, unless you're Hamza Yousaf, unless you're that crackpot communist in Downing Street, and unless you're that mob over there that don't know the difference between right and wrong, everyone else, have a great day. Cheerio bye now. Christian! What a 10-minute moan that was! I hope that will appear on the YouTube channel tomorrow. And he's absolutely right. This spree of stabbings, this mass, every single day we've got stabbings here, mass stabbings there, all across the UK, all across Europe, committed by migrants, committed by asylum seekers, and yet we have to bring more in. Are you serious? These stabbings, this heinous attack in Southport, us unionists, we feel that attack here because we view England and the rest of the UK as our own back garden. And yet those in the nationalist camp, they view us a different country, a foreign nation that affect us. Well, I'm afraid it absolutely does, and Craig is absolutely right to bring up his passport. They don't know what country we live in. We live in the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. With that, we've got Alistair McConaughey. He's going to have an off speech again, and then I'm going to finish it off. Right, Alistair, when you come. Thank you, Niall, and thank you to Craig, who gave a tremendous talk there, and who raised the point about what we are doing here today is so important, because, you know, the politicians have got a fancy face for it. They call it normalizing the narrative. And that's what we're doing. We are normalizing the narrative about ending mass immigration. We're normalising the narrative about protecting our country. Boats, being serious about stopping the boats. Not just going after the gangmasters, but turning off the tap before you mop the floor. Which requires stopping the boats. Oh, Alistair, how'd you do that? We get a little Royal Navy ship with a couple of Royal Marines on board. We intercept a boat. We tie it to the back of the raft and we drag it back to Calais. And once you've done that 2 or 3 times, believe me, the boats will stop coming. And all we need is the political leaders who have the nerve to stand and the moral stamina to take that point on and to stand by it and to do what it takes and to stand up against the media and to stand up against the British taxpayer-funded NGOs who need to be defunded, by the way. It's a disgrace that the Scottish Refugee Council, it's a disgrace that all these other pro-mass immigration organisations are getting our money. That has to stop. It should never have started in the first place. And you know, people might say that's a bigger rally than ours, but remember, they've got the money, they've got the media, they've got the politicians on their side. But that's going to start changing because we have the power to convince the politicians that they will not get our vote. They will not be re-elected unless they stand by our agenda, unless they stand up and protect our country. Do you know, if you go to the Home Office website, the very first sentence, and I'm going to read this out so I get it wrong. The very first sentence says, quote, "The first duty of the government is to keep citizens safe and the country secure." I'm going to say that again. According to Her Majesty's UK government, the first duty of the government is to keep citizens safe and the country secure. Now I ask you, has the British government in 17 years kept its citizens safe and the country secure, or has it betrayed us? And we have to get back to them taking their responsibilities and their duties as they write them down, seriously. And you know, they've got 19 speakers on the other side of the square, and I don't want to spend too much time on them, but I just want to point out that of the 19, 12 of them are employed by NGOs or the Scottish Parliament or various trade unions. 12 of the speakers are salaried to campaign specifically for mass immigration. It's an absolute disgrace how our country has fallen to the level where we will pay people to campaign to invade our country. It has to stop. It has to stop, folks. And I'm getting emotional because it's unbelievable. We are standing here today on hallowed ground. Men and women who died that we may be here today. And yet our government is paying people to fight against us. It's beyond belief. Beyond belief. And we need to get the politicians here and we need to say to them, you have to answer to us. You don't answer to your fan club over on the other side of the square that you're paying money so they can lick your ass. You don't answer to them. You answer to the working class men and women of Glasgow and of Scotland. And you better do it, Mr. Sawa, because our colleague who spoke earlier there, Craig, says this is not going to be the last time that we're going to do this. We're taking this message directly to the politicians. We're taking it directly to Hollywood. And we're going to make this the issue in 2026. Because believe me, in 2026, there are going to be people standing who will be calling for an end to mass immigration. They will be calling to stop the boats and send them back. They will be opposed to the resettlement of fraudulent asylum seekers in Scotland. So we will have people to vote for on the constituency ballot and on the regional ballot. And if we do that, then the Labour, the SNP, the Tories, the Lib Dems who do not stand with us will lose their seats. And that's the only thing that politicians care about, is getting votes so they can be elected, so that they can pick up the massive salaries that we pay them. That's what they care about. If they know they're going to lose their votes, then they will start to change their tune. And even if they only change it a little, it's still important, because it's called moving the narrative our way, moving the discussion our way, taking the discussion from the people on the other side who have got nothing to offer. I was reading their press release, and all they can talk about is, quote unquote, the importance of multiculturalism and the importance of racial equality. But let me tell you, I think in some ways multiculturalism is okay. In some respects, I think we all want racial equality. In other words, you can believe in multiculturalism and racial equality, but that doesn't mean that we have to have 1.2 million people coming into the country every year. Racial equality does not mean that you should allow your country to be invaded across the English Channel every day. So when they talk about, and Anna Sarwar does this, John Swinney does this, when they try to justify immigration, all they'll talk about is the word multiculturalism and the two words racial equality. Well, even if you agree with all of that, you still don't want the levels of mass immigration that we are suffering from. You still don't want the small boats, and you still don't want them to be resettled in Scotland. So they do not properly address the issues. They just emote. They emote. They're full of emotion. They're not full of logic. They're not full of sense. They're not full of reason. They're not standing up for you and I. They're just emoting, because in their heads they prefer to emote than to take on real serious issues and find substantial democratic humane answers to those problems. And that's what we're about here today. We're about finding the humane answers, the democratic answers, the legitimate answers to a very serious situation. And our politicians have to wake up to this. They cannot be standing about with the other side, emoting, sitting about crying, sitting about thinking about themselves. They need to be listening to, how do we stop mass immigration? How do we protect our country? How do we stop the bulls? How do we send them back? How do we keep Scotland for our children a safe and prosperous country to live in? So that's the two things we're doing. When we're so angry because of slipping away. No longer from this day forward will the question of mass immigration into Scotland be something that we all have to tolerate and tolerate. Slaves. Roll Britannia! Britannia all the ways! Britons never, never, never shall be slaves! Oh, we have got the best songs when it comes to it. We have the best songs, ladies and gentlemen. So there's the two things we're doing. We're normalising the conversation. From this day forward, this is an issue that we're going to speak about. No longer is mass immigration a sacred cow in Scotland. From this day forward, it's something we're going to talk about, and we're going to talk about making it less. We're going to talk about reducing it back to historic norms. And secondly, we're going to ensure and we're going to commit that in 2026, we will only vote for people who stand on our values of protecting our country, of ending mass immigration into Scotland, of stopping the boats and sending them back. Folks, I just want to end it on that point, but before I go, I just want to say a big thank you to the man whose vision this was, and without whose vision we would not be here today, and that is the Glasgow cabbie. I want to thank him. So Steph, a big thank you to you. Now, I've just got one more question. Folks, should we do this again? Well, that sounds like a yes. And on that point, I'll hand you over to our fantastic compere Niall.
Thank you, Alistair. Right, what an amazing crowd we've got here today. And I just wanted to thank the police for facilitating this at this point in time. I don't think we would have been able to do this without the police, if I'm honest. So, a big thank you to all the police and here today. Right, so ladies and gentlemen, before all yous for your bravery and facing down that mob today, thank you for standing against the machine that grinds us down more and more as human beings every single day. The machine that wants to sap us of our senses, that wants to sap us of our faculties. If you want to gaze upon the power of the machine, just look at that angry mob it's produced today. Useful, direct their anger at idiots. How many people in that crowd today do you think are being paid to be here? Hundreds, eh? Take a guess. Absolutely none. Zero. The machine fears us because we cannot be bought. They fear us because we have deep-rooted principles that will never be abandoned. Never. They fear us because we seek a bit to build unity, to make a physical stand against the sheer insanity of mass migration. Sheer unbridled insanity is what it is. It's societal suicide. And let's be honest, it stopped being migration a long time ago, and it started to become an invasion a long time ago. Up and down the length of Britain, up and down the length Britain, you'll see huge ancient barriers right along our coastline. Right along our coastline that used to shoot cannons at people coming and invading us on boats. Back when we used to care about the safety and security of the people here. Back when we used to care about the sanctity of our borders. If we can't stop the boats, we do not have a country. Sick! And that crowd on our shores, more danger. It's unacceptable to place the people, the citizens of Great Britain, in peril and in danger like this. It's unacceptable. People are absolutely terrified for their children's safety. And our governments, both the Scottish Government and the Westminster Government, are failing their very first duty to keep citizens safe. Both governments have broken the social contract with the people, imperiling us with uncontrolled and unvetted immigration. An opportunity to bring people together. To bring people back together. That's the key. Bring people back together. Scotland wasn't always as divided as it is now. It never used to be like this. I can see the truth in people's faces right in front of me. It never used to be as bad as this. It's an opportunity to dismantle, to attack the very divisions that hold us back as Scots from making Scotland the best place on earth. The nationalist camps, the yes camps and the counter-protests believe the government, the Westminster government, are ruining Scotland, depriving Scotland of wealth and resource, but they never ever point fingers at the blatantly corrupt, morally corrupt Scottish government. They never point fingers at themselves. They can't. The instant I looked into his eyes, my life changed instantly. He's only 4 months old, but it feels like he's been here forever. And if you're a parent, you'll know exactly what I mean. I owe it to my son to leave Scotland a better place than what I owe it to my son to make sure he can experience everything that I have and more. All the beautiful moments in a person's life. All the beautiful moments in a person's life. All the memories you've got. So rich, so vivid, so full of love that you wouldn't trade them all for all the money in the world. He is owed that. My son is owed that, and it's my responsibility as a dad to deliver it. Scotland, the way it's going, the way it's been mismanaged, the way it's becoming a haven for crime, the way the streets have become unsafe. Unsafe for man, woman, or even beast. Grandchildren as well, pal. Everyone. The people in Scotland as well. The staggering levels of drug deaths we've got here. It's no wonder. It's no wonder our people are walking the tightrope of addiction every single day, and a lot of them fall off. A lot of them fall off and they won't make it back. This is not a future that I will allow my son to be in. This is impossible. We cannot allow this to happen. And the country is being degraded every single minute that the people in there, the people in Holyrood. And I'll end with this. I've said it in speeches before, but I'll say it again. It all comes down to how we will be remembered against tyranny. Is that what you want? Do you want to be remembered as the person who took the road less travelled, the harder road? Not the easy road, the harder road. want to be remembered as the man or woman who fought for a better future for your children? That's what it boils down to. That's what it boils down to. We are building a country that is safe and secure for our kids. That's imperative. That is priority number one. Do you want to be the person who saw through the government's lies? Because that's what it is. We're being cast a spell, all of them over there. It's the perception altering. They want to change the narrative by paying people to show up, to make it look like they somehow have the moral majority, when it's not the case. When I look at that building up there, people make Glasgow. What a sick joke. It makes me physically sick, that. Do you know why? Because maybe one day that'll be true. Maybe one day people will make Glasgow, but at the moment it's simply untrue. If when I look at that crowd over there, moral and intellectual Glasgow, that's what they've got on their side. Cowardice. And what have we got on our side? Bravery. The fact that we can all stand here with the correct position, the unassailable position that mass immigration is wrong. Everything that has happened in the face of this. And look at the level of pushback that we get. It's incredible. And I'll say it again. Over on that side, people don't make Glasgow. On that side anyway, I look at that side, it's cowardice, it's moral cowardice, it's intellectual cowardice that makes Glasgow on that side. And what we'll give a big cheer for all the speakers, Craig Houston and myself. Right folks, thank you very much. Let's all make sure everyone gets home safely today. Okay? Thank you.
Do you have a chat?
I'll have a chat. Thank you, mate.
So, yes, no problem, no problem.
Is that okay?
Of course. No, it's a pleasure, my dear.
There goes a few.
Congratulations on the baby.
Thank you.
Let me see if I can zoom this out a bit. I don't know why this is so close.
You should throw in a wee bit of Socrates.
All right,
About
aye.
freedom of speech and all that.
Okay,
where they're
I should
trying to destroy
have.
it.
Voltaire, I would die for your right to call me names, to insult me.
I just think you spoke really well.
Thank you very much.
Agree with everything you said. Absolutely fantastic. We've got to get these clowns out of here.
We're getting bigger and bigger every time. This is the thing. We get bigger and bigger every time. Cheers, my friend. Good luck. Good bless. God bless, my friend. We'll have a wee walk about. We'll see if we can get a wee quiet corner. Thank you very much, my friend. Thank you. Cheers, big man. Thank you. All the best. The cabby, see the pressure of the day is unbearable for some. I hope he's all right. He's got his own issues. Take it easy.
There we go, there we go. So, well done for doing the speeches. I was speaking to Tam Laird.
Thank you.
And I saw your interview with David Houston. And we're just saying that there could be the family party and the heritage party connecting up and becoming the family and heritage party. What do you think of that for an idea?
See, I don't mind that as an idea. The thing is, we've got too many small parties here. Right, we've got small parties with so much overlapping policy. Right, the Scottish Family Party, the Heritage Party. You know, the Alliance.
And you guys are similar as well.
Oh, we're very similar. This is the thing. No, it's a pleasure, my friend. No, it's a pleasure, my dear. All the best.
Mate, I'd like to get a photo with you and Alistair,
Aye.
mate, if the fees are going up, please.
Steph's not here.
Steph's not here. God bless him though. He's trouble.
I know. I'm his auntie.
I'm just on Twitter. I'm not allowed anywhere else. Niall Fraser just looked me up.
I'm coming after Glasgow
We'll finish this. We'll wrap up. We're only here to talk about it.
I think a family heritage party with David being down south and Richard up here, that might actually work out. Would you talk to David? Would you speak to David about that?
Well, the thing is, we need to organise a meeting with all these small parties, right? And this is the thing. There's too many chieftains and no enough.
That's what I was talking to Tam about.
Yeah. So all these smaller parties, they need to come together, and a lot of them need to relinquish their position. Thank you very much. Aye. Like 2 seconds. I'm on a video there.
So just quickly, so that you think there should be an organisation. Tam Lear. All of them are different. All of you are different, but some of them have got overlaps, and some of you are working together already, but there's no coordination. I think that's one of the things that we've said.
I think we need to abandon we've got all these people that just want to be the leader of something, the leader of anything, even if it doesn't get any political power, anything. No, we need actual tangible change, and the way that's going to happen is we all club together under one banner, and it's not going to happen with all these disparate small parties. We need somebody cohesive to vote behind, and we need to be all in that party in order to ram through what we believe is right, and what we believe will make Scotland a safer place. And will make Britain a safer place. So that's what it's about.
I agree. Thanks.
Pleasure.
Always good to see you. Go on that side, Neil. Go that side.
So
he's just asked, see thing me. Craig, you want to come on?
Shocking because
So well done for your speech there, mate.
You went live again.
We're always going live. You did very well there as well, mate. You did very well. So what was your thoughts? Just your thoughts on the election and things like that, Craig?
The election was as everybody knew it was going to be, so done, and it's the result with what's happened in the last 2 weeks has been as everybody expected.
Well, you were calling out Stammer for being a communist, which is what Peter Hitchens said he was as well. Peter Hitchens said actually Stammer was far left.
Is that the point for the record?
No, Peter Hitchens is Christopher Hitchens. He was on trigonometry, and he said that he was a communist, and you called him out for that as well.
That's what I think.
And I don't think you're wrong. I think
you agree with me?
And it's becoming.
There must be bloody right then if you've agreed with me.
And it's becoming more pronounced just now as well, isn't it?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, it's just ridiculous some of the stuff he's doing and trying to drive this far right narrative about everybody that doesn't agree with him. It's absolutely bonkers.
Yes, thanks, mate. And if you get in, you say the Guerilla TV channel, the baby Guerillas.
Thanks for putting it live. A few of my pals texted me, said they picked up on the live stream.
It was massive. It was a massive one last one you did. You spoke very well the last one as well, and you had the hate speech as well. So it was another interesting event, but more authoritarianism. I'm a libertarian liberal, but from all the parties increasing authoritarianism. Would you agree?
I don't know about all of them, but certainly the ones in power.
Whether it be in Scotland or England, regardless of what the political affiliation is.
The two that are in power now are definitely that, so let's get them shifted.
Good to see you, mate, and good luck in 26. I'll see you
before then.
That's good, Craig, thanks.
United will never be defeated.
So I would usually go over and speak to the other side as well, but ceasefire, as I said, I'd get. I used to stay with a guy who was a Palestinian as well. No to racism. Bigot dafties come down.
Glasgow, they have curtailed Police Scotland yet again. Have curtailed peaceful protesters. We are curtailing them at the corner of George Square next to Greg's. Please Scotland, shame on you. 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 Please Scotland, shame on you.
Antifa flag there as well.
Scotland, shame on you. Under what right, please Scotland, are you preventing peaceful protesters from exercising their democratic right to protest peacefully in George Square in Glasgow? Please Scotland, if people didn't know who you were, they might think
Who's shouting? That's the left side, shall we say, or the globalist side, the Islamo-globalist side, I think.
Comrades here in George Square, stop kettling them. Let them exercise.
I don't know if you can see both sides here.
Right to protest peacefully against fascism and racism. Shame on you! Shame on you! Shame on you! Shame on Police Scotland and shame on the fascists. Shame on the lot of you. You should be ashamed of yourselves. Some of you might say, I'm just doing the job. That's what the Nazis said in the 1930s.
Okay, so
But everybody knows now what's going on. We've got it all in our TVs.
So
we see it every day.
there's,
We're seeing it in the streets. Shame on you.
there are people calling them fascists. I'm not quite sure if the fascists had an immigration policy. I'm not quite sure what the fascist immigration policy was. But obviously this speeches here were, they're saying no borders, stop the deportation. So they're basically open immigrationists. So they don't believe in borders. So it's the conversation isn't about, although it is probably British patriots and Scottish patriots versus open borderist globalists. And there's a lot of Palestinian flags. So I'm not quite sure if they understand that Islam is not a democratic ideology, and neither is communism. So I'm not quite sure. I'm not quite sure if they also understand that the fascists came out of the anarcho-syndicalists, which is de facto Antifa. Mussolini and Giovanni Gentili were actually anarcho-syndicalists, and that was a split from the actual Antifa, the anti-fascist, the communist anti-fascist. So there's not very many Scottish flags or British flags on the other side. The woman sounds like Elaine C. Smith. So it's there's no Scottish or British flag. So basically they're open borders. So if you believe in open borders, you'd be on that side, the far side. And if you believe in border controls, it's this side. So it's two sides, and I always try and be balanced and give both sides. And I would go over to the other side, but the police have done a great job and actually separated both sides. No borders, no country. Tell these people to take them all in then when is many. Yeah, well, I don't know if they're actually taking them in individually. So, but yeah. So we're talking about open borders versus, so there maybe should have to be a referendum whether people agree with open borders or border control. Maybe that should be a referendum in itself, and then we'll actually find out if there's many more of them than the people who want to control immigration. That would be where you could put it to the people, and then we'd all find out. And then I would stop all this racists and fascists and call them communists and all this sort of calling people racist. Again, the word racist comes from Trotsky, who was also a communist. Don't forget the communists killed 100 million people. So I don't know if fascism is control of borders. Not quite sure if that's correct politically, but I think if that, I don't know if that's hate speech. Is that hate speech, calling somebody a Nazi or a racist? Is that hate speech? This is. I guess it depends how you're looking at things. But these are definitely all. This is all from communism. What they're actually saying, whether they know it or not, is actually communist. And there was 100 million people died under communism.
Siamo tutti antifascisti! Siamo tutti antifascisti!
So I would usually go around and try and speak to the other side as well, get their point of view as well on it. But as I said, the police have done a good job of segregating both sides. Though obviously the open border exponents and people that want border control. I don't know if it's beneficial calling people fascists and Nazis. Oh, here we go. Right.
What people with green jumping about in there?
No, just hang me. So that's quite interesting. It's I'm live streaming if you want to. If you want to, just if you. So. Yeah, it's quite interesting. unfortunately, I couldn't hear both, so you could actually get both of them. But yeah. Thank you very much. So I think that's